Nigeria. So this is beyond partisan politics. Nigeria is on drip. Nigeria is on oxygen. And how can we get out of this? And these are kind of people who say they are leaders of this country. What example are they showing as leaders of the country?
Let's keep you abreast with happenings in the politics.
I am an employer of the president. I pay the president's salary. I pay the bills of the family. And he must protect me.
All the resources available in this country has to come together at this time to see how best we can move forward. The interest of Nigeria is part of it.
Standpoint.
Standpoint, the center of all talks of politics.
Standpoint, Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m. on Rapid 96.5 FM.
No Nigerian is more Nigerian than any Nigerian. That's right.
Very good morning to you and welcome to Standpoint, the center of all talks of politics. Today is February the 6th, 2024. What a pleasant way to start this broadcast talking about Standpoint with you. The song you'll just listen to, Sending Down the Rain. Is it to quell or to put in right perspective the issues that we have been facing in our dear country, Nigeria? Well, we still hope realistically that a lot will change on the good lane so that betterment will come in and things will be proper around Nigerians. My name is Moses Ben. Today is 6th, a very critical day in the world. We'll be talking about that much later on the program this morning. I have joining me this morning in the studio our in-house analyst, Incorruptible Sam, Sending Down the Rain. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Yeah, good morning to you, Ben Moses, and a beautiful day actually. Sending down the rain is important because a lot happening in Nigeria now, and if the rain will calm that down, I think I heard it trend in Aba some days ago. Maybe here in Omahia, and
we're still expecting it to drop.
Nigeria in general, let the rain that we help us to quench whatever that is actually not going right now, especially as it has to do with insecurity in Nigeria. We need that rain.
At least that one is of nature, and we don't think our politicians can fight that one.
No, they can't. They can't fight that
because it appears they can fight virtually everything in the country. You come out from this angle, they will be there to attack you square on.
Yeah.
You come out from the other angle, they will come up with reasons, with proofs on why things should be the other way around. Well, it's okay. We'll keep hoping and believing that things will turn out well in our dear country, Nigeria. Yeah. If you can remember a few days ago, Sam, the then presidential candidates of the People's Democratic Party at the 2023 general election and the former vice president of Nigeria called the attention of the current administration of President Bola Tinubu. Yeah. Please wake up and do something on time. The economic situation in this country will be plunging people into certain actions that you will not believe at the end of the day. Yeah. Immediately, few hours after the tweet that the former vice president did, the presidency replied him, attacking him with words that it was because you lost the election, you are trying to find your position in the political system in the country, trying to talk back at him immediately. Now, just yesterday in Minna, Niger State, residents in Niger State yesterday trooped out in large numbers to protest the hardship in Nigeria caused by the rising cost of living occasioned by the downturn of the economy. Of course, women and many youth blocked the runabout in the Plakungu area of Minna to express their grievances over the issue. The youth and men among them blocked the road, stopping vehicular movements. Effort by the police to stop the protest and disperse the protesters failed until the deputy governor of the state, Yakubu Garba, addressed them. This is just in Minna, Niger State. We are not praying that it should exacerbate, it should move out from where it is at the moment, because Kano is another place that is quite populated in this country and other northern states. Now, people have come out to express their grievances. Sam, what would happen? Remember, the former vice president called on apart from him, economists, other stakeholders have been clamping on this, the presidency, why not focus and give attention to the economic situation of the country? With what happened yesterday, Sam, it is not a good impression. Or if you want to be sincere with this situation, it doesn't speak well about the country, then it questions the capacity and the capability of the current administration to solve issues that have to do with social and economic affairs of the country.
Definitely. And it's so unfortunate that we have leaders that, we think every statement you make is actually against them. You're fighting against them. I might not be a very big supporter of Atiku Abubakar, but whatever he has said, for me, there is nothing to actually argue about that or deny. Presidency immediately replied, but this one, they have actually not paid attention. I think one of the headlines yesterday said we should support Tinubu and not tackle him, and we have not been tackling him. What Nigerians have been doing is to tell him, see, these are the things you said during your campaign. Do them.
You came up with a lot of promises that you would do this, you would take care of this and that.
We are now reminding you. See what you said. May 29th. That's when they took over. That's when he took over. Now, just February 6th, we are crying. We are actually complaining bitterly. Now, referring to the former administration as even a better one. I said it yesterday that we celebrate the past more than the present. Others say future.
So.
Others said the future is even brighter. But here in Nigeria, no. We say that Goodluck Jonathan's government was even better than that of Buhari. Now we are saying that Buhari's government is better than that of Tinubu. I hope Tinubu will not leave office and will start talking about his own becoming better. That's what we did in Nigeria. It's so painful. And now in Mina, I remember what happened in 2020. It was NSAS. NSAS. I hope it will not get to the point where people will take to the street now to say end insecurity, end hunger. And I don't know how this one will end. At some point, it was becoming so big that they noticed, okay, youths, they were all over. They needed to do what they did in a toll gate in Lagos State. And they still denied it today that they didn't know what happened. People will take to the streets. If not that in Nigeria, you protest and they see you as an enemy to the government. I think it happened in other countries where you come out, you say, no, things happening this way, these are not the way things should be happening. And they will pay attention. But here in Nigeria, you protest, they see you as the enemy. They will say, they bought over it. They paid you to actually do these things. This is just Mina, one state. This is just one capital in 36 states. I hope it will not get to the point where all the states will start doing this thing. Tinubu promised us a lot. Even when he said that, see, it's his time to do his turn and all the rest. Now, the government is upon you. Do it. And you're giving us excuses. Look at insecurity every day. Every day we must come up here on radio. So a caller called in yesterday to say, can't we just start talking about that? In as much as he doesn't want to teach us our job, but that they are tired of insecurity. If possible, we should be doing sports from morning till night. That's what a caller said. We laughed over it. But it is becoming so painful that when the TV is on, when the radio is on in Nigeria, it's about where they kidnapped, where they killed, how many people that have died of hunger. It is becoming so scary.
And I wouldn't want to take the position at this point that the country stakeholders have failed in the area of security, economy, and welfare of the citizens. It will be too early for us to adopt that. I am not saying that is what has happened. It hasn't happened because I still believe and I know that things can still turn out positively in this country. But they should own up to their responsibilities.
Definitely.
Governance is not a position where you start giving excuses.
No.
You opted for the job.
Exactly.
The people gave you, as a result of the institutions that were involved,
Promised
and
us
everybody,
a lot.
people participated, made lots of promises.
Deliver. Now, we are not telling you to work with your pocket money.
No,
You're working
no,
with
you
our
have been
money.
financed already. The money is there.
Use it to work. I said it the other day here that a caller said that the security apparatus in Nigeria is not. I said no. In Nigeria, we are blessed. Some years back, we'll go to other countries fighting. We'll go there and make peace. In Nigeria, our security men, soldiers, police, they will go there and make peace. In Nigeria, that's where we have issues. Even our security agencies can't do anything. Maybe because of being sabotaged or what. So we have the best hands in Nigeria. Maybe we are not allowing them to do their job.
All right, dear presidents or presidency, whenever issues like this come up, we get counter report, rebuttal that presidency says this and that. It is your responsibility. Look at the economic situation of this country. Look at the security situation of this country. Where are we headed for? as a people, as one entity, where are we actually headed for? You called for the job and it's been given to you. So it is your responsibility to own up and execute your responsibility in line with governance delivery. If you do well, at the end of the payday, the people would appreciate you.
Simple.
So if things like this come up and then the people kick against it, you should know that they are not happy with the situation of things in the country.
Simple.
So why not own up your responsibility? People are dying. Cost of living is growing higher by the day. Go to market, things that you were affording at the rate of 400, you can really get it at the rate of 1,400 naira now. What actually is happening? Please, we do not want what is happening in Mina or what happened in Mina yesterday should migrate to other parts of the country. It will not augur well. It will not represent our dear country, Nigeria. But that's that. We have a critical issue to handle today. As I said, today is 6th February 2024. As the world commemorates the International Day of Zero Tolerance for Female Genital Mutilation today, Tuesday, Nigeria must join in the fight to end this nuisance in the country. It is our call from the studio this morning. Either the government, non-governmental organizations, faith-based organizations, communities, individuals, private groups, and what have you. We must lend our voices to making sure that we protect the sexuality of young girls and women, and that will be the focus of our standpoint this morning. I'm being joined in the studio by the Director of Gender League of African Development Students and President, Female Youth Empowerment Initiative, to discuss this issue today, talking about International Day of Zero Tolerance for Female Genital Mutilation. Clara Oluchi, you will correct me for that. Is it Tobias or Tobias? Good morning and welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Moses. It's Clara Oluchi Tobias.
Tobias, all right. That's cool to know.
Yeah.
How have you been?
I've been okay, all right.
I'm happy that we are discussing with you this morning. You look good.
Thank you.
Yeah, take it from me.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you.
Quickly, today is International Day of Zero Tolerance for Female Genital Mutilation. Sam, I don't want to come directly to you first, but you will confess if you've carried out this act before, but we'll get to find out as the program progresses this morning.
Okay.
Yes, it's been recognized every 6th of February. Yes, in any year. But female genital mutilation, I was stumbling on this issue a few days ago, trying to carry out personal investigation and research, and something cropped my mind. Is it possible that there are persons at this contemporary time who do not still know and understand what female genital mutilation is all about?
Yes, of course.
If that's the case, before we discuss the International Day for Zero Tolerance, what is this issue all about?
Okay, female genital mutilation is actually a process. I'll call it an ungodly process.
Ungodly?
Or should I say, yes, a process of cutting out or removal partially of the female genital part of a lady or a child, a girl child. Female genitalia. That is the
feel free. You can feel free. Yeah, we understand. Today is the day of. So let's discuss this
part of the
clearly.
lady's clitoris.
Okay.
Yes, it is actually a partial removal of that part, probably because of some thoughts of a lot of people, either culture, religion, or personal. So it's actually sad that till now, in fact, till 2024, a lot of people, in fact, my study tells me that about 200 million people have undergone, and in fact in Nigeria we still have about 20 million statistics.
20 million
yes,
in Nigeria.
And that every year we have about 1.4 million people. In fact, 2024 they have already said that they are looking at having up to 1.4 million girls going through this torture. I call it torture because it is a torture. Having to use a knife to cut off that sensitive part of a little child who has no word to say or has nothing to say. That's a violation of right, of a child right, of course, a human right. And I don't even know what some of all these parents think before they do that. Because when you come to look at it, it doesn't have any medical backing. there has not been any medical practitioner that have said that this thing does anything good for the child, aside it being something that has to do with culture, religion, or like I said, something that has to do with the person or the parents, what they feel, And it's crazy having it to be that you tend to make decision for a child who has not even grown up to make such evil decision for that child. You know what it means going through pain at that little stage, and then when you grow up, you start facing a lot of things. It has a lot of effects. I think
we'll come to that.
We're
going to talk about that.
You grow up and then you start noticing a lot of things about yourself, and then you realize that this evil act, this torture was done to you when you were still less than a year.
All right. When you say there is no scientific report or presentation that this is what happens, either positively, the advantageous angle of this thing, but people carry out this act that you said to be torture on a girl child. What possibly could be the reasons for this?
Like I said, I talked about culture. There are people whose culture permits that, but I think it's a barbaric culture.
Okay.
It's a barbaric, just like saying that if you have a twin, you should kill the twin. I think that is the same thing with FGM. Any culture that permits that is actually a barbaric one. And then some people feel that is an act that leads any child to adulthood. Hello. How do you match that with a child going into adulthood? Some people tend to believe that when a female genitalia is being cut off, it helps to curb the sexual urge of the girl child. But I tend to say, and I would still repeat, that there are people who actually went through this torture that are more sexually active than people who didn't go through it. So because I feel sexual urge has to do with your gene, your person, not about what was cut off from your body. A lot of people feel that, okay, they have to cut it off so it doesn't grow up to be like the male genital part, that's the penis. But then there are other ways you could cop that. I remember watching an old woman who was beating a little child. Every child who is born has to be formed. That is why we have our mothers beat a child. They mold your head, they mold your body system to be strong. The reason why they do that is because when you come, your body is how do I put it? It is very it's just loosed. So they have to cup it up with hot water. See your mother. Now that female genitalia, you can use your hands with Vaseline and bring it down if you feel that it is too big. And once you do that for a week, you see that it becomes normal. It's not a must that you have to use a sharp object to cut it off. That is ridiculous. And then some people tell you it's their religion. If they don't do it, whatever. But then I don't feel that is nice. That is why, of course, people like us and other people out there have been fighting against it, because it is a bad thing. It is a demonic act. It is barbaric.
Let us look at the implications or the consequences of this female genital mutilation with what you've presented this morning. It shows, or it poses that it doesn't sound well and it doesn't give a good representation. So what then are the consequences of this act?
Okay, there are a lot of consequences.
All right.
I'll start with the short term. That's the one that happens immediately. Now, the one that happens immediately is, of course, the pain. The pain could cause a lot of fever, seizures. It causes excess of blood flow. It causes infection. Because some of all these objects are not being sterilized. Mind you, where they even invent these acts, it's not in the hospital where you have things that are being sterilized.
That's to say, it is not legal.
It is not legal at all. And then you have the long-term effect that has to do with sexual dysfunction. You see a lady probably that is not being sexually that does not feel anything sexually. And it causes a lot of home break. It wrecks home. Because you did something for her when she was little, you don't even know her own libido. Imagine if the lady's libido is very low and then you cut it off, trying to help her. Then you have zeroed the whole thing. Then she gets married. She starts having problems. Some of them have issues during childbirth. if there are medical reports that states that ladies who are being mutilated have prolonged labor than people who were not. Now you can imagine that you're suffering for something that was done without your knowledge, and then you have psychological trauma. Every day you keep remembering the fact, wow, when I was little, this happened to me, and the psychological trauma is enough to put you into depression. Yes, so these are long-term effects. It affects a lot. That is why the government is still saying that this is a no-no.
Like if the government is still saying up until now that this is a no-no, and then you pointed at something fundamental, that these things are not done within the hospitals premises, are there laws? If the government is still pushing that this thing goes off the society completely, are there laws backing this thing not to be practiced in the society? Let us use our country,
Nigeria,
as an instance.
Okay. The truth is that before 2015, there was this child right law that states that a child should not be hurt, But then I feel during Goodluck Jonathan's tenure at 2015 thereabout, he actually created a law, that's VAP. In section 6 states that anybody who is caught in this act, or even instigates someone to even go through this process, the person should not be charged anything less than 4 years. I think it is still variable till now, but so sad, as it will be said, it's not pronounced, it's not publicized. Why? Because some of all these vices are being done to children who cannot open up or talk, and then they are being done by their own parents. And even when you grow up and you feel like, okay, I've grown up, they did this thing to me, I'm going to report. Are you going to want to sentence your mother to prison? But that is why we are talking about sensitization. Some of these parents do not even understand, because when a child grows up, for a girl child, for example, and you're not sexually active, it will be very hard for you to go and meet your mommy and say, Mama, I'm not sexually active. Do you understand? But then, if some of all these parents or grandmothers are being told the dangers of this, or the effect it's going to have on the child, they will say, after all, they did the same to me.
Exactly.
But the truth is this: the system of those days and now is not the same. There are some things that were done then that could be overlooked. But now, even as a child, you see a child of 8 years already seeing her menstruation. That is to tell you that everything has evolved. Generation keeps coming and things keep growing. That is to say that this thing is no longer okay. It's not okay at all. So I think we should actually, preach it.
All right. If there's a law out there or provision against this particular act, we'll come to that to know its effectiveness. But mentioning the parents here is critical for us to understand. The parents here, they stay in a community. They reside there. You find number of persons who live around or who live within. They carry out certain businesses together, trying to promote or project common interest. In this case, should we be pointing solely at the parents when you know that we have the community there? People also live around these people who do these things. So how do you handle this issue too?
You know why I said FGM is very delicate is because it's done to a little child. Now, for example, you're living in a company, what's it called, a public yard.
All right.
And then you give birth, not me, of course. I'm using another person because I can never do that to my child, And you have your neighbor who put to bed a baby girl. And inside their own cubicle, their own house, they do that to that child. You only seen the child crying. You're not aware of what was done to the child.
You can't question the child,
the
parents, because they are taking care of their children.
A baby is bound to cry. You're seeing a child crying. You don't know what happened to the child. That is why I keep saying that this advocacy, this sensitization should be brought to the parents who are the first contact to these children, who are the ones who actually do this to the child. And it is actually alarming to know that some, from my observation,
right,
some medical practitioners also do this.
Medical practitioners?
Yes, but they don't do it in the hospital. That is to tell you that they know this is not legal. They know this is not right, but they just because of probably what they are going to get.
All right, reports has made it open that in Nigeria, the estimated prevalence of female genital mutilation among women aged between 15 and 49 is at 24.8%. It states that over 20 million women, as you have said, and girls in Nigeria have undergone female genital mutilation. This
yes.
represents 10% of the global total, about 4.4 million victims there. So the highest female genital mutilation prevalence, according to report, also is in the southeast, 49%, and southwest. We discussed this issue before we got into the studio, 47.5%. Then the northeast has the lowest prevalence, 2.9%. Let us come down to the effectiveness of the law. You said the law is there to go against this act. How would you say, or how effective has the law been in Nigeria, given the statistics?
It is sad to note that I have not heard that anybody has been in prison for 4 years for this torture. But then it is also sad to know that it keeps going. That is the reason why I said earlier that we need to join hands and try to preach this particular sermon. I call it sermon because, of course, it is sermon that people want to listen to more. I feel that we need to really preach this and let one person be a scapegoat, and then I feel that other people will learn. I wish I can even see. I remember when I was in Akwa Ibom State, when they're talking about a father sleeping with a child and all that. I had a case of that. And as a copper, I took it up. It actually brought me issues, but I had to do it. And when that thing happened, other people learned. So if you have not gotten a scapegoat, I think people won't learn. Now, we keep talking about, yes, there is law for it. Let somebody be charged. Look out for your neighbors. Look out for people who are still in this practice. I heard it's prevalent in Imo State, Enugu, Ondo. It is even sad that Nigeria that is supposed to be a place that is open.
You did not mention Abia State.
No, I did not mention Abia State because there has not been any statistic to say it is happening here. Though I am not saying it is not
happening.
But then there has not been any proven statistic to say that it is happening in Abia State. If you do your research, you'll find out that, like I said, it is Enugu, Imo State, Ondo, Kano, just few places in the north, sadly, and more in the southeast and southwest. So I feel that we should just make someone a scapegoat, and trust me, when that happens, others will start learning. All
right, today is Tuesday, 6th of February 2024, and it is the International Day of Zero Tolerance for Female Genital Mutilation. We've been speaking with Clara Oluchi this morning. We'll go on a short break to pay our bills. When we return, we'll get to know the theme of this year's outing, in as much as the female genital mutilation is concerned. We'll look at other issues, programs also that have been put up to commemorate this day. Still on Standpoint, the center of all talks of politics. Please stay with us.
Beauty is power. A smile is its sword. Beauty lies in the eye of the beholder. Beauty is all around us. So, if you want to look good always, visit Masters and Wands Cosmetics stores. It's new, it's exclusive, and a happening store in beauty products. We deal on perfumes and cosmetics such as body lotions, facial creams and scrubs, body sprays, powders, bath wash, and all kinds of quality cosmetics with affordable prices. Contact us at number 41 Fimbers Road, Umuahia, or number 28 School Road, Umuahia, all in Abia State. Call us on 0806 951 2773 or email us at wandsgleam@gmail.com. Masters and Wands Cosmetics stores. Quality is our name. Signed, management.
Christ for All Nations CFA, in conjunction with all Christian churches in Aba and Umuahia, announces Great Gospel Crusade
with evangelist Daniel Kolenda, the successor of evangelist Reinhard Bonnke.
Jesus Christ is Lord, to the glory of God the Father. Say amen.
Date dates Wednesday 21st February to Sunday 25th February 2024. Venue Ngwa High School, Osisioma for Aba Region 1.
And Meteorological Complex opposite Obiongo Town Planning Authority along Omokaleka Road from Obikabe Junction for Region 3, all happening same time, 4 p.m.
Also on 29th February to 3rd March 2024 by 4 p.m. at two different venues. One at Abara Square, Umahe for Region 4.
National High School along Porakot Road, Ugunabo for Region 2.
Featuring healings, miracles, deliverance, God's Word.
Businesses will flourish again.
Come, listen, and receive the blessings of God.
Jesus is Lord.
Celebrating your family and friends has become cheap like a cup of tea, easy as ABC, and rapid like it should be. You can send birthday greetings and goodwill messages on Rapid FM for just 1,000 naira. Other events like weddings, child dedication, housewarmings, religious and government functions go for even less, 500 naira. Now, your loved ones have no excuse not to celebrate you rapidly on your day because all they have to do is visit our website at www.rapidfm965.com/request or call 07049 220965.
Let's talk politics, dynamics, and permutations.
It's a concern that we have for our country, Nigeria. So this is beyond partisan politics. Nigeria is on drip. Nigeria is on oxygen. And how can we get out of this? And these are kind of people who say they are leaders of this country. What example I may show you are leaders of the country?
Let's keep you abreast with happenings in the polity.
I am an employee of the president. I pay the president's salary. I pay the bills of the family. And he must protect me.
All the resources available in this country has to come together at this time to see how best we can move forward. The interest of Nigeria is part of it.
Standpoint.
Standpoint, the center of all talks of politics.
Standpoint, Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m. on Rapid 96.5 FM.
No Nigerian is more Nigerian than any.
Example I may show you are leaders of the country.
Let's keep you abreast with happenings in the polity.
I am an employee of the president. I pay the president's salary. I pay the bills of the family. And he must protect me.
All the resources available in this country has to come together at this time to see how best we can move forward. The interest of Nigeria is part of it.
Standpoint.
Standpoint, the center of all talks of politics.
Standpoint, Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m.
I am an employee of the president. I pay the president.
We keep you abreast with happenings in the polity.
I am an employee of the president. I pay the president.
Is on oxygen. And how can we get out of this? And these are kind of people who say they are leaders of this country. What example I may show you are leaders of the country?
Let's keep you abreast with happenings in the polity.
I am an employee of the president. I pay the president's salary. I pay the bills of the family. And he must protect me.
All the resources available in this country has to come together at this time to see how best we can move forward. The interest of Nigeria is part of it.
Standpoint.
Standpoint, the center of all talks of politics.
Standpoint, Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m. on Rapid 96.5 FM.
No Nigerian is more Nigerian than any Nigerian. That's right.
Welcome back to Standpoint, the center of all talks of politics this morning. And as you know, today being 6th February, it is the International Day of Zero Tolerance for Female Genital Mutilation. That's what we'll be discussing this morning on Standpoint. Clara Oluchi Tobias, of course, the Director of Gender League of African Development Students and President Female Youth Empowerment Initiative, has been dwelling on this topic this morning. Welcome back to the program.
Thank you very much.
I still have my very own man this morning, Incorruptible Sam. You're welcome back, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
All right, let's look at it. Are there ways we can stop this act in our society, given the statistics in Nigeria already? I believe that the recognition, the commemoration is one of the ways. But within our country, within the Nigerian setting, are there ways we can curb this or stop this?
Of course, there are ways to, there's only some few ways anyway. I keep saying it, sensitization. Why I say sensitization is this: you need to sensitize these parents because they are the ones who are into this act. They are the ones. You need to sensitize them, let them know the dangers, the effects, the long-term effect of this torture. I keep calling it torture because to me it is torture. And UN has been trying so far, and UN has been trying so far, to cop these vices. It has been their goal, the Sustainable Development Goal 5 has been to cop these vices by 2030. And we're already in 2024, so we have barely 6 years. But I feel with sensitization programs and, of course, advocacies like this, to talk about it, it will soon be nipped in the bud. I so much believe that. And when it does, I'll be happy to see leaders who are free from this torture.
All right, we'll come back to you very shortly. Dear listener, at this moment, there is a report reaching us directly to our studio that at the moment there is an alleged protest ongoing at Michael Okpara University over school fees hike. We have a correspondent on ground to keep us updated with regard to this breaking development this morning. We have Daniel joining us. Daniel, good morning and welcome to Standpoint. Hello, Daniel. Hello, Daniel. Good morning. Can you hear me clearly? Hello, Daniel. Yeah, can you hear me now? All right. Where are you? Good morning. Where are you at the moment? What is the situation of things at the moment at Michael Okpara University?
The students are doing well right now. They are attacking every center, every center in school. They move from center to CBT center, from CBT center, they move to college of veterinary nursing. From there, they are currently at the College of Engineering. And they are moving to the engineering workshop. Here at the building of examination. That's what they are right now.
What?
They are making sure that no form of examination is going to hold in the school. Everyone is not going to be that is just their union. They cannot obligate.
We didn't get that. Why are they protesting?
Hello?
Yeah, why are they protesting? Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Why is the protest this morning?
Okay, the protest is actually because the school management decided to investigate the across housing systems, and they are refusing grants for those that are participating in the exam. So they are moving the students now to know that there's no way you do the activity and then you expect us to be for no doctor. So they are actually moving from college to college to here. It's actually the group that we have here today. There are so many complaints about students who didn't go to this non-writing exam. And why yesterday, there are no much of an but today, it's a many final students, including myself, that is the top. So that's why they are moving from center to center to make sure that there is no exam that is holding today.
Can you find a security presence there?
Yeah, after the security presence at the time, the whole process now started. But right now, there are no security presence right now.
All right.
I'm not
Okay, but at the moment, the school management has not reacted yet, right?
Yes, after they are not reacted. It was in the morning when they were teaching the teachers to know those are after and those are also. They are just saying they are also even the parents for that. And those are in God's decision that they must take it as they are even if they take it, they are having a sector. Once you are sure and you don't
all right, Daniel, you just have to be safe over there, and then we'll keep in touch with you from time to time to know any development. Did you get that? All right, be safe. Be safe. We'll get back to you shortly to know what will happen after now. All right, thank you so much, Daniel. That was Daniel, correspondent at the Michael Okpara University. Of course, there is ongoing protest over school fees hike. We'll get that report in details later in the day. So sorry, Clara, but we have to do our job the moment we find situations like that. Okay.
And I think the government should know that the situation in the country is really sad. To hike school fees at this point, I don't know.
We will find out. We'll get to hear from the management of the institution also to know the reason for this protest this morning. What's the theme for this year's commemoration of International Day of Zero Tolerance for Female Genital Mutilation?
Okay, the theme for 2024 is her voice, her future. Her voice, her future.
What message could this be sending?
Of course, I think it's well explanatory that her voice is depicting her future. That every girl child, I am the voice of the girl child. So my voice is talking about my future because I'm going to have a child, and we're talking about the future of that child I'm going to have. So if this FGM is nipped in the bud now, of course, the future is going to be a better place for every girl child, both in Nigeria and beyond. Sorry, Moses, there is something I skipped when you talked about solution.
All right.
I talked about, of course, awareness. I didn't talk about the legal measures.
Okay.
I feel the government should, uphold that legal measure. Like I said, we need a scapegoat. When that happens, every other person would learn. Of course, we also have community engagement. We need to go into some of all these communities. The truth is this: you may not see such happening in the cities, actually in the rural part. So let's go carry the advocacy into the communities, talk about this, and of course give a sort of sensitization to these parents and of course every other person in that community.
Report also says that you just mentioned the urban area and rural area. Report also mentioned that in Nigeria, women, we still have the age bracket between 15 and 49 years living in urban areas have undergone FGM at the percentage of 32.3%. Then that of the rural area is 19.3%.
People living in the urban area. You forget that they were living in the rural before they migrated to the urban. So please.
Okay, 09160,965. 09160-333-965. We are discussing the International Day of Zero Tolerance for Female Genital Mutilation. We are live on our Facebook page as well. We can have your comments from there, but the numbers remain 09160,965, 09160-333-965. Let us have your own position on this issue this morning. Going forward, Clara, before we let you go of the studio, when we say the government has to do this, do you think there are other programs and activities, not just until the day of commemoration, then we get to talk about this issue? Do we have the enlightenment measures enough to carry out this message? What would be your reaction in that regard?
Okay, I think NGOs are trying.
Okay.
I'd give kudos to some NGOs.
Okay.
Who have been, trying to make sure that this message, this advocacy reaches the grassroots. Female Youth Empowerment Initiative is also part of the NGOs who have been talking about.
You'll continue with that thought, but let's get to hear from this person. Okay. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Okay, network was playing a smartphone on the house there.
The network has been bad lately. So, like I said, the Female Youth Empowerment Initiative have been on the forefront of fighting this particular vices, and I know that there are also NGOs out there who are also in this part with us, and like I said, we are hoping to work with the UN and make sure that by 2030, this vices, this torture is nipped in the bud.
All right,
totally.
by 2030.
2030.
We shouldn't wait until 2030.
No,
We can be
it's a
doing
process. It's a
the
process.
job,
We keep doing it till our. Okay.
Hello?
Good morning and welcome.
Yeah, good morning,
You're welcome, sir.
Yes, good morning to our guests in the house.
Good
I'm
morning.
I'm calling from home.
All right, Okafor.
Yes, I don't know whether this female mutilation or what. I think it has to do with culture, more of culture. Because I believe that there are some cultures that need that. I don't know the role of government to ensure that they correct some of these cultures. And you know that it's very hard these days to bend people to modernization, more especially when it has to do with culture. So I don't know the role of government to ensure that they correct some of these cultures that permit these kind of mutilation, which is not good in this our present age.
All right, Okafor.
Yes, thank you.
All right, thank you. We appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Let us keep it brief and concise. Good morning and welcome. Hello, good morning. Yeah, kindly turn down your radio set. Okay, we lost that call. Please, while you call in, ensure that you find yourself within a good position so you'll be able to communicate with us seamlessly. All right, we'll be leaving the studio at this point. Clara, your message with regard to this day to both communities, people in our communities as well.
Okay. I wanted to say something about what Okafor just said.
Okay.
You know, I feel that if the killing of albino and twins could be nipped in that bud to some extent now, it was a culture, right? It was culture that prompted people to be killing twins, and I think if that could be done, this also could be nipped in the bud. And I feel that with togetherness and of course all of us coming together to say this is a torture, like I'd call it, and fight against it, I'm very sure that even before 2030 it will surely be nipped in the bud. So I want to encourage everybody out there, if you have been mutilized, yes, you should be the one to even stand up for others, because you have gone through that and you know the pain you went through. So I think you should stand up wherever you are in your own little space, talk about it, advocate for it, tell people that there should be zero tolerance. So FGM. And of course, we would have a word without FGM. Thank you very much.
All right, it's very possible. I lend my voice
very,
also
very,
that
very
it's possible to have a word without FGM.
Of course.
It's been a nice one speaking with the Director of Gender League of African Development Students and President, Female Youth Empowerment Initiative, Clara Oluchi Tobias. Thank you so much for your time in this program.
Thank you so much, Moses. It's been a pleasure being here with you as well.
We hope to have you next time.
All right.
Not until this issue, but other issues to learn your voice.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you
the
so
incorruptible
much.
Sam.
Yeah.
I don't want to place allegation on you. I know you've not done that kind of thing before.
No,
he doesn't look like someone who has done that.
I'm actually against that.
Yes.
I've never been a fan of that. So when I hear people, even want to give excuses, I wish we, got some female talk to us. I wish we got those calls. It's so annoying. If a woman is a woman, let a woman remain a woman. If you see them as important in the society, there is no part of them that should be removed. Not even that particular part. To avoid making them inactive tomorrow when they should be active.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, dear listener. It's been a nice moment with you today. Standpoint will return tomorrow for Wednesday's midweek edition. Until then, please, with regard to this issue today we've discussed, wherever you see such a thing happening, voice out. Speak for that girl child. Say something about it. Let the authority come in and see a way of addressing this issue squarely in our society. My name is Moses Ben. The news light is up now.